9 ninja ways to manifest money that work immediately. Here's the exact steps I took to manifest $13,000 immediately. Here's the secret to manifesting money and stop worrying about money for good. So, is it really possible to manifest money immediately? Yes, it certainly is possible, especially when you understand that time is only a concept that humans experience. Your Creator, who is the provider of all sources of abundance, is not limited by time. So when you have manifested more money, it manifests straight away into your own human timeline. But that doesn't mean that you always receive the money straight away. Sometimes you do see the money that you desire straight away, and sometimes you have to wait for it. But if you believe that you'll always have enough to meet all of your needs, you'll always be provided for. So today I'm going to show you 9 ways to improve your money mindset and manifest money straight away. And I'm also going to share some of my own personal stories about how I personally manifested $13,000 immediately when I followed these techniques that I'm about to share with you. So today you will understand how to remove blockages to your abundance. You will be able to manifest money and your desires straight away. You will feel much more relaxed about money in the future, and you're going to learn how to be a wealthy person going forward. Does that sound good to you? My name is Kath Kyle and I'm the author of Stamp Goals book, and I'm so happy that you're here. I help content creators and change makers manifest business success through spirituality, self-belief and strategy, and I help you master your marketing, manifestation and money mindset. So today it's all about the money mindset. So once you have put in practice what I'm about to share with you today and you have received your own manifestations, I would love to hear about it. Please share your manifestation results with me by leaving a comment on my blog, YouTube channel, or sending me a DM on Instagram at Kath_Kyle. So, how I have personally used these techniques to manifest money. And I've got to admit that I don't apply these steps all of the time myself because I'm too busy enjoying my life and my work, and I trust that my needs will always be met. And I feel fine with money. I feel like my money is making money, and I don't have a desperate need to be manifesting random sums of money all of the time, because this is what you might be thinking. If you manifested this money once, why don't you just spend every single day doing it? And that's because I think it would actually get a little bit boring, and I don't really think that's how life works. If you just focused on, today I want to manifest $13,000 and then I received it, and the next day I did it again and I received it, and the next day I did it again and I received it, I actually think that would get a bit boring and that would make life really dull. Life is not really like that. Life is about the ups and the downs and the excitement of not knowing what's going to happen when, and it's the excitement of building on something, of growing as a person, of offering something to somebody, helping out other people and being rewarded for it. And it's this that really, and also relationships and, having fun. And there's just so many different things that are involved in life. It's not all about money. And I know that's easy for me to say. When you've got money, it's definitely easy to say that it's not all about money. But this is how you get money. So what I'm going to share with you today will help you get to the same state where you're not absolutely desperate for money either. So here are my stories. So even though I don't try and manifest chunks of money on a regular basis, there have been times when I have felt inspired to do some manifestation practices to manifest particular amounts of money for certain things that have cropped up, because I didn't want to take money out of savings to pay for those things, because then you feel like your wealth is going downhill and not uphill, and you always want your wealth to go uphill. And I remember that just before we moved house to another country, it was such a massive move and there were so many expenses involved in the process, and we did originally think that we would have to take money out of savings unless we manifested money for the process. So first of all, I started off manifesting $3,000. I started off with an amount that I felt comfortable with. I felt like it could reasonably appear. So this is something I'll talk about a bit later, but I started off with something that felt comfortable for me. I thought within the next week I could quite easily see $3,000 because it had happened before, and I thought it could happen again. So I followed all of the steps that I'm about to share with you, and within the next week I had manifested the money, and it came to me in two different ways. Number one, I got a tax rebate of around $2,000 that I wasn't expecting from when I had moved from being self-employed to setting up a limited company. Number two, I also received a payment from my email list provider of around $1,000, and this was actually an affiliate payment from something that I had totally forgotten about. Around 5 years prior to this, I was telling a friend how much I loved my email list provider, ActiveCampaign, and how the prices were so much cheaper than the other companies such as ConvertKit. And we had a lot of friends at the time who were really into ConvertKit and paying an absolute fortune because they all had really big email lists, and so did my friend have a really big email list. And I looked into ConvertKit myself. I also had a really big email list, and looked with my one of my different companies, not the Kath Kyle brand, a different business that I had at the time. And I personally looked into ConvertKit. I thought it was way too expensive, especially for the amount of people that I had on my list. I think I had about 30,000 people on my list at the time, and I'm pretty sure my friend had a lot more than me at the time. So I went with ActiveCampaign, and it was a fraction of the price of ConvertKit, and the functionality was so much better, and it was so easy to use, and I really loved it, and I'm still with ActiveCampaign now. And my friend asked if I had an affiliate link, and I didn't. So I signed up as an affiliate for this company, for ActiveCampaign, and then I totally forgot that I ever did it. And then my friend joined ActiveCampaign with my affiliate link, and then she was paying a lot of money for this service because she had such a big email list, and because the amount that you pay for an email list increases as your list increases. So it starts off really cheap. I think it starts off around $9 a month or something like that, and then I can't remember how many people that's for. That might be up to 250 or 500 or something like that. I think it's 500 people on your list, and then after that it just gradually increases and increases. And because she had such a large amount of people, she was paying a lot of money for her email list. Still a lot cheaper than ConvertKit, but yes, still a big chunk of change. And I received a commission of all of the money that she had ever paid during these 5 years, and this was just one person. I just totally forgot that I even set it up. I didn't have a business talking about business. I wasn't really talking about email lists very often, so I had no reason at all to ever remember about this at all. And as I had never even logged into the back end of the system, I hadn't even entered my payment details, so I wasn't able to get paid. And the money that they owed me had built up, but they had no way to pay me, and I never got the money, and I was never notified of the money either, because normally they pay you, usually how affiliate payments work is you either get paid on a monthly basis or you get paid when you reach a certain threshold, like every time you get another $100 owed to you, they pay you that amount of money. So it's usually quite regular if you are making quite a lot of money. And one day I felt an intuitive prompt and suddenly remembered about this out of the blue. And I think it was because I had decided to set up affiliate programs for my new brand, Kath Kyle, because I'm helping entrepreneurs and I recommend the services that I use myself. So obviously it makes sense to get a small percentage of the amount paid for the service when you recommend something that you love to somebody else. This is called affiliate payments. So I set up all my new affiliate payments for all these companies, and I tried to set up a new account with ActiveCampaign, and I was told that I already had one and I couldn't even remember getting one. And then I managed to get logged in eventually, and I was amazed at the total. It was just over $1,000, and it was such a lovely surprise. And I put my PayPal details in, and then they paid me. I sent them an email saying what had happened, and a payment was just due, and then they sent me the money straight away within a few days in PayPal, which was amazing. And we used this money, we took it out of the business and used this money to pay for our deposit on our new rental home. And we bought flights and accommodation to visit the new country that we were moving to and look for rental homes. So that's what we wanted that money for. And then after that, I was amazed by this. I thought, wow, this is really working. And after that, I decided that I was going to use the same techniques to manifest $10,000, which is how much we needed for our removal costs for the removal van and the fees to sell our house. And we had originally come to the conclusion that my husband's new employer wouldn't pay any relocation expenses, but then suddenly out of the blue they just told us that they would be giving us a relocation budget, and guess how much it was for? $10,000. And we are based in the UK, so we don't use dollars in this country. We pay for everything in pounds, but because of my business, my online business, I get paid in US dollars, and I also pay for all of my expenses in US dollars. So my mindset is always thinking in terms of dollars, and I just decided I wanted to manifest $10,000. And then my husband told me that his company was going to pay for the removal costs of around £8,000, which at the time translated almost exactly into $10,000. It was just over $10,000, and I was totally blown away. So I know this stuff works, and I have so many more examples like this that I could share with you, but these are just two that popped into my head. So now I'm going to help you manifest money in the same way. So let's get started, shall we? So before we start the process of manifesting more money, there are two things that you need to decide on first, because you can't manifest something if you don't know what you want to manifest. So the first thing that we need to do is decide how much money you want to manifest. So you need to decide how much money you want, and if you have not had a good relationship with money previously, I suggest you start off with a small amount of money that you could actually believe could manifest within the next few days. Even if it's as low as $1, if you're feeling like really lacking in money, then I suggest you start off even as low as that. Maybe you'll find $1 on the street, or the equivalent currency wherever you live in the world. You'll find that on the street, and then it will give you confidence to manifest something more, which is what I did with my process. I knew that we had more expenses to pay than just $3,000, but I started off with a small amount, and it built up my confidence. So you really have to believe in this process, because if you don't believe in this process, it's not going to work for you. So now that you have decided how much money you want to manifest, we move on to step 2, which is, what do you want to manifest the money for? You need to decide what you want to do with the money. Do you want to buy something? Perhaps you need to buy yourself a new suit for a job interview. Maybe you need the money to pay for a removal company to help you move house like we did. Or maybe you want to use the money to pay for a bill. Maybe you've got a bill through and you don't have any money to pay for it. And here's something that I want to say about bills and debt. If you owe someone or a company money, try not to say that you need the money to pay for a debt. Focusing on the debt is likely to cause you more stress and stop the manifestation from coming. Instead, focus on what you already used the credit for. Do you have an electric bill to pay? If so, you need the money to pay for your electricity. You can even go one step further. What do you need the electricity for? You need the money to enable you to light your home, use your computer, heat your water, and warm up your food. It's not just some random amount of money that you just owe somebody else. You need money to provide electricity so that your home can function. Do you owe money for your rent? If so, you need money to pay for your accommodation. Is your credit card bill due? Get your statement out and have a look and see what you bought with your credit card. Have a look through your statement and figure out everything that you spent money on last month. And then what you need to decide is that you need money to pay for whatever you bought in the last month. Cups of coffee, new shoes, new book, getting your car fixed, whatever it was, this is what you actually need the money for. It's not for the debt, it's for the things that you bought that you needed last month. Companies have generously loaned you the money to pay for the things that you desire. So focus on the items that you want to buy or have already bought and feel gratitude for them now. And it doesn't matter if you've already bought the item in advance and now you need to pay for it, or whether you are just about to buy the item once you receive the money. What you need to do is get into a state where you are grateful that you have the things that you desire and you have the resource to pay for them. Now let's go through some of the specific techniques to help you get into the right vibration for manifesting money and believing that the money will be there when you need it. Number 1, reject disbelief. Are you currently feeling like you are lacking? You don't have what you want? Maybe you feel desperate for money? Do you have negative feelings about money? Do you believe that money hardly ever shows up for you, and when it does, you get some expected bill and it's all gone again? Perhaps you feel like you don't treat money very well. You don't feel like you can handle money very well. Maybe you feel like you're not deserving of having more money. All of these beliefs are blocking you from receiving money, and that is because you get what you believe in life. So if you believe that you are struggling with money, that's exactly what you'll get. I'm going to show you how to improve your belief system when it comes to money, but first of all, you need to let go of these blockages. I call these beliefs that are holding you back disbelief. That is because you don't know and don't believe the truth. And the truth is that abundance is always available to you at all times. And that is what your Creator has made available to you and wants for you. And if you don't have this, it's because you don't truly believe it. So are you willing to let go of this disbelief now? Are you willing to release the constant worry about money? Take a deep breath in and imagine your disbelief in a balloon sailing into the air and being carried far, far away. Now do you feel lighter? Maybe you feel empty. You have now created a vacuum, and this means that there is now space for money and positive money beliefs to come into your life. So don't leave this empty space here, because if you don't fill it with positivity, your old disbelief will quickly make its way back to you. And if you'd like to see more of a deep dive of this process, then I've started a new series called Stamp It Out Process to Reject Disbelief, and I have an example of this process on my blog post. So if you click around this content piece, you will see a link, the first link to my blog post, and that will take you to the Stamp It Out Process to Reject Disbelief, and it works through this process in a lot more detail. The second ninja way to manifest money is to pray. Something I'd like to encourage you to do is to pray for your desires to manifest. And if you're not religious, don't worry, you can pray to whoever or whatever feels good to you. Say a prayer to God, Source, the Creator, the Divine, or the Universe. So first of all, acknowledge that although you do have a lot of control over your life, there are certain things that you don't have ultimate control over. You don't have control over when you are born, when you die, who your parents were, a lot of your physical features, what you sound like, and your desires. God has the ultimate control over all of these things, including your abundance. But God has placed certain desires on your heart, And some people have desires to be basketball players, others have desires to stay at home educating their kids. We are all totally different, and all of our uniqueness helps the world to function in balance, as we all have a different role to play in furthering the human race. So it's now a good time to recognize that your desires for money have also been placed on your heart by God. It's not something that you decided, I'm just going to magic up this money and this desire is placed there by me. If you've got a strong desire for money, then it's a good chance that it's placed there by God. And it's good to acknowledge this with a prayer and ask God for help. So here's a simple prayer that you could pray which will ease the burden of worrying about money. And you can replace the word God with anything that you choose. You can even say higher self if you don't even want to recognize a different force out there. Dear God, thank you so much for creating me and giving me the opportunities to experience being alive in this world. Thank you for creating me exactly as I was supposed to be created, and that I am perfect in your eyes. I know that you have given me everything I could need in this world to experience everything I need and more, and to manifest the desires that you have placed there. I now ask you to bring the desires of my heart into my life, along with all of the resources I need to fully experience this, and that all of my needs would be met as I go through this journey. I trust that you will take care of all of my needs, and I now let go of the worry about money, allow you to have control of this, and I give up trying to control something that I never could control. Please let me know what action you'd like me to take and lead me to the right plan to manifest my desires. I pray all of this for the highest good of all, and so it is. Let's move on to number 3, visualize with emotion. One of the techniques that brings money to you the fastest is to visualize the money coming to you as if it's already happened. Create an image in your imagination of your bank account and a credit for the amount of money that you want to manifest. Now what you need to do is bring emotions into this, because it's the emotions that bring the manifestation into reality. So now what you need to do is feel the emotions of gratitude for this money coming to you and say thank you, thank you, thank you 3 times as you smile. Then imagine yourself telling someone else about this money that popped into your bank account. Would you call them on the phone, or send an email, or a text message, or on social media? What would you say to them? Now let's move on to number 4, scripting. Scripting is another form of visualization. You repeat the steps above for visualization, but instead of imagining this only in your mind, you write down the whole experience on paper. So write it out like a scene from a movie. What happened? What did you see? How did you feel? What did you do next? Who did you tell? What did you say? While you are writing, try and feel feelings of gratitude. When you are finished writing, read it out loud with the same emotion. I actually find scripting easier and more effective than visualization because my mind can tend to wander off when I'm just relying on my mind. But I stay more focused when I'm writing it down, and then I have a concrete story to read out loud and use for visualization from there. But everyone is different, so just see which technique works the best for you and just use that one. Scripting and visualization are the same kind of thing, it's just a different way to approach it. So scripting really helped me in my life. It helped me to manifest my dream life. So I am a massive fan of the technique. When I was saying that we moved house from one country to another, that was me moving into my dream life. And you can read more about that by clicking the link within the blog post. Halfway down the blog post, there is a link to a blog post called How to Use Scripting for Success in Your Business to Manifest Quickly. And this is the process that I used, and I tell my story about how I manifested my dream life in that post. Moving on to number 5, be certain. One of the biggest mistakes people make when it comes to manifesting money is to not have faith that what they want will actually happen. And if you keep saying, it's not working over and over again, that is the reality that you are creating. Yes, it is true that the money is not guaranteed to manifest exactly when you wanted it to manifest, but it's much more likely to appear much more quickly if you completely trust that it is on its way. If you put your faith in a power greater than you, it is much easier to trust that your needs will always be met. Moving on to number 6, accept alternatives. A lot of time we put so much emphasis on money being the key to getting everything that we want that we forget that our desires can manifest in other ways. So say for example that you have a desire to buy a new suit for a job interview. You might get so fixated on manifesting the money and the money being the only thing that would solve this problem. But there are many more alternatives to you getting a suit for your job interview, even if you don't get the money to pay for it. For example, you could receive a gift from a friend and you could get a suit bought for you by someone else, or you could receive a gift card for a store that sells suits that you like. Or maybe a friend is getting rid of a suit that they don't use anymore and they give you a suit that you really love. Or maybe you'll bump into somebody who needs a service that you provide and they'll agree to swap you a suit for the service that you provide. Or maybe you'll see a discounted suit advertised at a fraction of the price that you thought you'd have to pay for one, and one that you could actually afford. Or perhaps you are able to loan a suit from someone else or a company, or you win a competition and get given a whole new wardrobe. There are so many ways that you can manifest the things that you want without you actually having to manifest money for them. I would like to encourage you to be open-minded that your needs will be met regardless of the type of manifestation that you receive. When you're visualizing manifesting what you want, don't just visualize the money being given to you. Imagine yourself having the item that you desire, and that was why it was so important to write down the thing that we wanted to manifest in return for the money, because if you don't know what you want to use the money for, money is just energy and it needs a place to be directed to. And if you already have the item that you desire because you already bought it on credit, then you have already manifested it. So give thanks that you already manifested what you want. So turn your attention to manifesting that the company that loaned you the money also gets what they need, which is your credit being paid off. So it's a fair exchange of value within the agreement that you made with them. Moving on to number 7, become a wealthy person. To manifest money, you have to step into the shoes of someone who already has the money that you want. Imagine that you are a wealthy person. How would a wealthy person act around money? Wealthy people are usually good at being responsible with money. They are normally good at planning their wealth and expenditure. And if you want to be wealthy, that doesn't mean that you have to start spending money like a wealthy person, because that won't help you manifest money at all. That will get you into debt, which will increase your fear, then you'll feel lack, and then you'll bring more lack into your life. So these people who say you've got to spend money before you have it, I don't agree with that at all. Wealthy people usually spend within their means, or yes, sometimes they do get credit, but they have a faith, a really strong faith, that because they have all these other resources, they're able to draw on the money that they need to pay off their credit, because they've probably already got it in investments or savings somewhere else. So it's not that they don't ever use credit to buy things, it's just that they know that they've got the means to pay it off if they desperately needed it. They could sell some of their houses, they could liquidize their assets and pay things off. So wealthy people do usually spend within their means, which means that you have to also start spending within your own means, whatever that might be. So decide right now that you are going to be responsible for money. So draw up a plan for next month. Plan what expenses you expect to come out and how much income you expect to come in. Is there any money left? And what will you do with the money that's left? This is how wealthy people act with money, and you can start to do this today, straight away. So what would a wealthy person think and believe about money? They would probably believe that they expect a certain level of income and that they have the ability to make more money from their money. They believe that their money comes to them continuously and they get richer and richer. Money does make money, and you can start with as little as $1. Just saving a small amount of money starts the ball rolling, and it totally changes your mindset. Suddenly you feel in control of your money because you've managed to put some away. When you've built up a good buffer in your savings account, then you can start to invest your money and carry on increasing your wealth and have your own money make money. Everyone has to start somewhere, but if you never put money away for yourself, you can never stand a chance of being wealthy. So how would a wealthy person feel about money? Wealthy people usually feel grateful for their money. They feel relaxed, calm, and secure. They don't usually feel desperate, relieved, anxious, worried, or fearful about money. So if you feel any of these emotions, try and let them go. And I know it is hard, and I have also let go of these kind of money blocks and money fears, and I've let them go, and then they've just resurfaced over and over again. But the more you work on your money mindset and take practical action, the easier it will get. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to never have a negative thought again to manifest money. You just have to believe that everything will be okay in the end. If you don't know how to be wealthy, the best step is to learn some practical ways to make your money work for you. So start by getting some books out of the library or watching some videos on the topic to educate and empower yourself. Moving on to number 8, give money away. So here's a great way to manifest money, but you've got to get into the right attitude while doing it. You can give money away to help someone else. When you give money away, you are sending a signal to the universe that you have more than enough because you have money to spare. And when you feel abundant, your reality will reflect this. And again, you might be telling yourself that you have no money to spare right now. So again, let's just start off with baby steps. Can you put a small coin in a collection box for charity? That is a fantastic place to start. What about donating some of the items in your home to charity? If you release the hoarding mentality and let someone else benefit from items you no longer use, you'll be rewarded for it. That's why you often find steps to manifestation, including decluttering your home. And this is why. Not only are you helping someone else, but you are also creating space for the things that you really love to enter your home. When I manifested the $13,000, we had just spent 3 whole months decluttering our home and giving most of it away to charity. And when you give to others, don't give with the expectation that you will receive money back. Just give because it feels good and know that your needs will always be provided for. Moving on to number 9, take action. So now we're getting to a step that is absolutely essential, and that is to take some practical action. Yes, manifestation can work when you don't feel like you've taken any action at all, but most of the time you will need to take some kind of action first. If you remember my examples of how me and my husband manifested money, they all resulted from taking action. I manifested money by recommending a product to a friend that I know would help her and save her money. I also manifested money by starting a company and making it more tax efficient and getting a rebate based on the actions I took to save money. My husband manifested a relocation package by applying for a new job, which was a lot of effort that he put into that whole process. And normally you will be required to take some kind of action to receive your manifestation. So how do you know what action to take? You will receive some kind of inner prompt to do something, and this feels like a random thought that just popped into your head that was out of the blue and nothing to do with anything that you had just been thinking of. And you might even try and ignore it, but the thought just keeps popping back into your mind over and over again. And you might even receive more clear signs that you need to take action, such as someone might suggest something to you, or you might hear a video or a podcast or a book recommending something to you. Whatever it is, this is your cue to act, and it is so exciting because it means that your manifestation is very close and about to be yours, but you just need to take the action that you feel called to take. And the inspired action that you need to take could be anything at all. It could involve checking an online system, meeting up with a friend, visiting somewhere you didn't plan to go, decluttering your house, selling something you found in your house, giving advice to a friend, or starting a new business or a side hustle. So now that you have learned how to manifest money, you might be wondering how to set up your own business so you can have the opportunity to have a consistent source of unlimited income. When you work for someone else, your income is usually fixed, which can lead you to having a poverty mindset. But when you work for yourself, the sky's the limit, which is why most wealthy people are also entrepreneurs. And I have created a free workshop to help you start your own business called How to Plan Your Dream Six-Figure Business in 30 Days. And in this free workshop, I show you how to plan your dream six-figure business in 30 days that fits your personality, desires, and ideal lifestyle, and make money from a brand new business even if you have no experience or product to sell. And this workshop is valued at $77 and is part of my Dream Business Blueprint course. And I'm giving you free access to this workshop and an associated workbook for a limited time only. And you can get access to that by going to kathkyle.com/blueprint. And in my next content piece, I'm actually diving much deeper into the process of rejecting disbelief about fear of money. I'm going to show you how to overcome fear of not having enough money and how I've been doing it myself, using my Stamp It Out process to reject disbelief. So make sure you subscribe to my podcast, Manifest Business Success, my YouTube channel, Kath Kyle, and follow me on Instagram at Kath_Kyle so you don't miss that. And I will also let you know via email when my next piece of content has arrived. And I'm currently giving away 4 brand new free gifts every month to my email subscribers, so don't miss that. And you can subscribe by opting in to any of my free gifts, such as my free Manifestation Milestones board pack. This free Manifestation Milestones board pack is the ultimate motivator to help you manifest more business success. From this one pack, you can create both a vision board and an achievement board to help you feel good about what you've already achieved and manifest even more. This Manifestation Milestones board printables pack will help you recognize and celebrate all of the amazing milestones and goals that you are achieving in your business, which is so exciting. And you can download that by going to kathkyle.com/milestones. And now it's your turn to go and put your stamp on the world.